Here on the occasion of my parents' 50th wedding anniversary.
Leave them in the bathroom on the way out.
You can see this is
I
don't know how many of you know this, but my mother, Bevy, has always been way ahead of her time. As a matter of fact, Bev was new age back in the old age. I'm serious.
No.
You know, for instance, yes, it's true. These days there's a lot of talk about the New Order. Heck, you know, Bev was into the New Order 35 years ago.
Amen.
I can remember distinctly Bev giving my brothers and I new orders every day. Like stain the shingles, remove all the dirt from the property, put the dirt back.
That was a punishment, Greg. You earned that.
I get to that. I get to that. That wasn't right. In this new age, people are awakening. I can remember Bev, again, way ahead of her time, awakening us at 5 o'clock in the morning. Because for some ungodly reason, she wanted to take us to schools that were always 2 and 3 states away. We had an awakening. And synergy. Bev was on top of that too. As a matter of fact, as Tara just alluded to, I can remember spending years of my life grounded because of synergy.
I can attest to that.
Paradigms. Bev didn't have a paradigms the whole time she's been married. And inner growth. Bev was all over this one. See, when my brothers and I stepped out of line, which happened 2-3 times an hour, Bev would get out the belt, and she had a certain technique, and I would get inner growths about a quarter on my behind. And higher power. My mother found her higher power when I was 12 years old. I remember that distinctly because at 12 years old, my brothers and I were taller than Bev. And that's when she started standing on stools and chairs to beat us and found her higher power. I guess enough jokes and puns about Bev's discipline. I'm sure I speak for all my siblings when I say that we're all truly grateful for all of the love and care and discipline that she showered us with our entire lives. Brotherly love, tough love, unconditional love. Call it what you want, it was pure love. Today we're celebrating the 50-year anniversary of the marriage of Beverly, Jean, and James Anthony. This is a beautiful day, and I don't just mean the weather. I don't have to tell anyone here the statistics on marriage these days are not pretty. I think less than 3 out of 10 marriages make it to 10 or 15 years these days. But seeing my 2 awesome, healthy, handsome, and beautiful parents here with all of their children, grandchildren, friends around them, and 50 years of life together, that's truly beautiful. And what does it take besides health to make it 50 years together in a marriage? I can't tell you. I've only been married for 18. I can tell you this though. I did spend the first 25 years of my life in Bev and Jim's home, and I'll share with you what I observed growing up in their company for the first 25 years, and maybe some of the keys to their success are, my father is the greatest man I've ever known in my life.
Amen.
Speak softly and carry a big stick. That's Big Jim. My father's influence on all of his children is so much a part of what has made us all successful. Implicitly fair, totally charitable, savagely handsome. Unconditionally loving, the greatest self-discipline and work ethic I've ever seen in anyone in my whole life, 100% supportive, hyper-intelligent, but the last guy in the world that's ever going to let you know about that. Take that 2 ways. And unconditionally, the most selfless and supportive family man myself or anyone who knows Jim has ever met in their lives. And Bevy. Iron hand and the velvet glove. Iron Maiden. Totally beautiful, inside and out. Spiritually, intellectually, as deep as the ocean. The faith of a saint. A woman who has spent her entire life selflessly putting her family first and asking nothing for herself. A force of nature with an iron will who has kept focused on achieving the greater good for her whole life. You've run a great race, Mom. And did I mention terrible cook? My mother's so modest that for 25 years she told us all what a terrible cook she is, and we all believed it. And then when I married my beautiful wife, Margie, she said to me one day, Greg, why do you always tell people your mother's a terrible cook? I'm like, because she is. Margie's like, Greg, your mom's a great cook. And I kind of had to think about it, and as I thought about it, I realized my mother was an excellent cook. But that was just Mom's style.
Margie stinks.
Well, thanks for all the great meals, Mom. They were delicious. Love and laughter abounded in the Knox home. Not the showy kind of love you Italian folks there let yourselves indulge in. But rather than understated Irish love with minimal PDAs, public displays of affection. And I must confess, I think I know, somewhere back in the family tree we have an Italian in the woodpile. My best friend Joe Padula can attest to this because he knows I've always loved that showy Italian affection. And I'm happy to say that with my abbondanza amore, that for the last 30 years, the Knox family there have been many shameless public displays of affection in our family for the last 30 years. And the laughter. My gosh, we inherited the most warped and strange sense of humor. Deranged, over the top, and we all know exactly where it came from. Everyone knows Big Jim for his incredible wit, his uncanny quips, his intellectual puns. But how many of you know about all the fart jokes he used to say? Five-year-old son, the wrestling joke about the wrestler who bites his own behind. You give me that look, I could go on and on. I don't want to go there, Big Jim.
Throw you right under the bus.
And Bevy and her incredible laugh. My mom's funny because she's one of those people who was always lurking in the background as my brothers and I were doing these outrageous pranks. And she'd be there, and then when we consummated them, my mother would be there to chastise us. But then something strange would happen afterwards, and I would realize, wait a minute, my mother was there the whole time it was going on. And the worst part was years later when I realized she was the instigator for most of it. I know in my own house there's a lot of love and laughter every day. And I see the same thing with my siblings, and I know it all comes from a happy, happy home that we all grew up in with Bev and Jim, and so many fond memories. Thanks for all the laughs, Mom and Pop. Jim and Bev are beautiful together. They always have been. They've been married 50 incredible years together. Were there bumps in the road? I've witnessed many. Marriage is a lot of work. I'm not telling anyone in this room who's married anything they don't know. Really? Except for Jane. You really need to. I don't hear
That's why you
Bernie
wait.
say
Sure, it's a lot of fun for her
anything. Say, let
too.
him eat that cake.
She had 3 bumps in the last 3 years.
No complaints, thank you. For 50 years of marriage, you need to be really committed. And the good Lord knows Bev and Jim are, for better or for worse. These parents of mine are no part-timers. I've seen them face trials before which would have broken lesser people, would have broken tough people. But Jim and Bev are made of something different. We grew up in the Bronx, and I didn't see a whole lot of my dad back then because he was always working 3 jobs so that my mom could stay home and raise her children. Thanks to my father's work ethic and dedication, and my mother's resourcefulness, my mother never worked a job outside of our house. The good Lord knows raising a brood like us, an outside job must have looked like a walk in the park lots of times for my mom. But with Bev and Jim, that just wasn't an option. No, Bev spent her days driving her children hundreds of miles daily so she could have them attend the school she felt they needed to be attending. She was a coupon queen who probably spent about 40 hours a week devising intricate and I'm sure illegal coupon scams. So the generous vendors like ShopRite and the A&P would pay her to walk out with hundreds of dollars in groceries 2 times a week. Man, she was good. And I can remember her making my poor father get all of his friends like Jerry Sullivan to set up bogus accounts, with their addresses so that she could maximize her downline profitability. The woman was way ahead of her time.
Mike, arrest her.
And then there was Aunt Sally. Raise your hands if you know Aunt Sally.
Raise your hands if you got duns in Aunt Sally. Right.
I can go on and on. My point, Bev and Jim are committed. They should have been committed. They committed themselves to each other 50 years ago, and here they are today. They committed themselves to their children, and here we are today with our families and about 20 grandchildren. They've committed themselves to God, and He has blessed them abundantly. They've stored up their treasures in heaven. Mom and Dad, thanks for the example. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the laughs. Thanks for the values. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the memories, and thanks for the faith. I love both of you guys. At this point, I'd like everyone to lift their glass. And my brother J-Mo will lead us in a toast.
I first have a public service announcement. If everyone stops breathing, you will get quoted. So just going to download for a minute. One thing I want to say, a lot of people I think are under the misconception that parents being married for 50 years is an amazing thing. It is amazing, but I think what's more amazing is the fact that I'm married. If you know this man,
Enough said.
the fact that I'm married, 5 kids, and I'm in this house, that's truly big.
Not for the real toast. It's all about him.
This comes from guys that lived with the men's shelter 4 years ago. 5 deranged guys. Anyway, there's me. But, I think the best testament I can say about my parents is that there's probably nary a soul in this house right now, maybe except the age of under 2, that in some way or some form or some manner hasn't benefited from my parents' love and their affection and their hearts. And it's truly a blessing for me to be a son, for all my siblings to be proud children of Jim and Bevy. And everyone here raise a glass to Jim and Bevy, and we'll see you on the next 50th.
Shalanta.
Amen.
God bless.
Earth angel, will you be mine, my darling dear? Love you all the time. I'm just a fool in love with you. Earth angel, the one I adore, love you forever and evermore. I'm just a fool in love with you. I fell for you and I knew the vision of your loveliness. I hoped and I prayed that someday I'll be the vision of your happiness.